Hey guys, Friday we have a unit exam. It's over the whole unit, everything that we've been learning about since the beginning of school. There's four major parts, okay, and we're going to be going over this for the next 3 days to get you guys ready because the test is going to be on Friday. Friday is the unit test. It's a big test, okay, so I want to help prepare. So you're going to need to take notes this week, okay? You're going to start taking notes right now. So go and get your pen and paper and colors and all that, and you can pause it right now, and then you can restart it once you have all your things. Okay. Okay. So now that you have all your supplies, let's talk about part one of four. There's going to be four parts. Okay. This first part I want to go over is cell theory and cell types. Cell theory and cell types. This goes way back. Okay. So let's look at this. So let's talk about cell types. There's only two types of cells. Okay, there's eukaryotes. You have eukaryotic cells. We have eukaryotic cells. We have the complex, the complicated ones. Okay, the ones with all the organelles in it. Animals, plants, very complicated cells. Some eukaryotes can be unicellular organisms, meaning that their whole body is just one cell. But the majority of eukaryotes, like us, we are multicellular organisms. And what that means is that we have many different types of cells: brain cells, smooth cells, skin cells, all kinds of cells, blood cells. But we also have many, many, many cells. We're made out of trillions of cells. Okay. But the one major difference between eukaryotes and prokaryotes, the two types, is that our cells, eukaryotic cells, we have a nucleus in every single cell. All trillion cells of ours have a nucleus inside of it that stores the DNA. So this is an example of a unicellular eukaryote. It's very complicated. It has all these different organelles in it, and this is the nucleus. What makes this a eukaryote is that it has a nucleus. Okay? This is an example of plant cells. Plant cells have nucleus also. That's where the DNA is stored. Okay? These are eukaryotic cells. Okay, prokaryote. These are very, very simple organisms, very simple cells. The DNA is loose in the cell. It's such a simple cell that they have things in there that they need to survive, but everything's just kind of thrown in there. It's not organized like our cells. Prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms. They're just one cell. Very simple, like bacteria. Okay? Bacteria cells, this whole thing is one cell, and there's everything inside of it that it needs. The DNA is just kind of loosey goosey in there. Okay, so prokaryote, eukaryote cells. Now let's talk about cell theory. Okay, there's four components to cell theory. All living things, which are organisms, when you hear the word organisms, think of living things. All living things are made of cells. If it's living, it's made of a cell or many cells. Okay, and this goes for people, grass, fish, snakes, trees, just for some examples. Okay, this is an example of a nerve cell. And these, I just thought you might like some examples. This is an example of cheek cells, like from the inside of your cheek. Put this under a microscope. That's what our cells look like, our cheek cells, the inside. This is what our nerve cells look like because they're constantly reaching towards each other and sending messages. Okay. All living things, we're still on the same component. All living things are made of cells. Some are made of only one cell, unicellular. So we have multicellular organisms and unicellular organisms. Okay, if it's living, they're made of cells. Okay, and there's another example of the bacteria cells. These are unicellular. Okay, so the second component, all cells come from existing cells. Cells duplicate themselves and then split in two. Our skin cells replace themselves so your cuts heal. That's a good example. Okay, bacteria, they just make copies of themselves, and they do it really fast. That's how sometimes we get infections and things like that, because they can multiply really, really fast. All cells come from existing cells. They come all a cell. If there's a cell, it came from another cell. Okay, so here's a cell. It duplicates itself and then it splits in two. Okay, the third one. The cell is the basic unit of structure and function. The cell is the basic unit of structure and function. Each cell has all structures or parts needed to live. They have all the parts needed. All the parts. Like for us, we have all the organelles inside of our cells that do specific jobs that keep that cell alive. Each cell's structures do all the functions needed to survive. So they have certain jobs to keep that cell living. Okay, and then all the cells are like that. So then the whole organism, our whole body stays alive. But that one cell is the most basic structure and function unit. It has everything it needs to survive. Okay, so here we have a prokaryotic cell that has everything it needs to survive. A eukaryotic cell, you see we have a lot more different things going on in here. There's also a lot of parts that we are not going to focus on this year, but you will in ninth grade. Okay, and then the last part of cell theory, all cells obtain and use energy to carry out life processes. Okay, so eukaryotic organisms, which is us, the organism obtains energy by eating food. Material that has nutrients and energy is considered food. If it doesn't have energy, it's not considered food. Like water. Water, we need it for living, but it does not have any energy in it, so that's why it's not considered food. Okay? He's eating food to survive. He needs that energy. Okay. And then we have prokaryotic cells, which are the single cell organisms, the very basic types of organisms, like think bacteria. Okay. They obtain energy from living things in their environment. Okay. And here's an example, just a quick little drawing to kind of show you. They kind of surround and engulf their food, and then it gets into them. They don't like eat it like we do. Okay. And that's it for the notes for today. Okay. Make sure that if you miss something, go back and write it down. You're going to need these notes because on the test you can use your notes. Okay. So if you miss something, go back. And then we're going to finish our notes on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we're going to review on Thursday. And then we'll take our test on Friday. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you, guys.